Okay, chapter 3.2 is writing equations using a slope and a point. Okay, so the last section we had a graph and we looked at the graph and we found the slope and we found the y-intercept and we created an equation using that. So if we had an equation like this, we looked for the y-intercept. We might have noticed that that was up at 3. Positive 3, 1, 2, 3. Those don't look good. Come on, you know you can do better than that. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We found that the y-intercept was, that, and then, maybe we went down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1, and we noticed that the slope was equal to 1 over 1. Rise of 1 and a run of 1, and then we just made our equation y equals 1x, which is just x plus 3, and it was relatively easy. Well, today we're not starting with a graph. We're starting with just information. We're starting with some data, and we want to know, can we write an equation just using that? And we can, and I'll show you how. So first they're going to give us a slope. M is equal to 2/3. And again, if we were on a graph, we know that that's rise over run. And so that would look like up 2 over 1, 2, 3. And so it would be, our line would probably go kind of like that, because we go up 2 and over 3, up 2 and over 3. Alright, so this is what our slope basically is. And then the other information they gave us is our y-intercept. And can I write an equation? Yeah, the y-intercept is, it's not even y-intercept, it's just a point. So I knew that. The point is at, there's a point that's at -6, 1. Alright, so for instance, if I wanted to graph this, I'd just go over here and I'd go to -6, positive 1, and I'd start, and then I would use my rise of 2 and run of 3, and my rise of 2, run of 3, rise of 2, run of 3, and I'd have a pretty good idea what this line is supposed to look like. But it's not going to give me exactly the line. It's not going to give me the equation for the line, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the equation of the line. I'm looking for... Okay, now that we have some actual graph paper, we can make this work. So we're going to start at -6, 1, which is -6, 1, which is this point. Okay, there we go. And then we're just going to use our rise over our run. Now the book does the run first and the rise second. As long as you remember, it's not going to matter. I like to do rise first. So I go up 2, and then I run. I can just draw that. I'm going to go up 2, and then I'm going to run 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to go up 2, and I'm going to run 1, 2, 3. And the neat thing is that I just hit my y-intercept right there. So that's the y-intercept. And if I go ahead and draw this line, and I could probably keep going. Well, if I drew it really carefully, well, I'm going to have to start that one over. How come? I don't think so. Up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3, up 2 over 3. There we go. Make that look right. If I wanted to switch, do it the way the book does it, just because I don't like to leave them out. They run 3 and then they rise 2. They run 3 and then they rise 2. As you can see, it's the same thing. Alright, so the neat thing is that we did find our y-intercept. Our b is at this point right here, which is at 0, 5. That's our y-intercept. Now we know our rise, so our equation is y equals, we know our y-intercept. We have our slope. Okay, I'm not sure I was speaking English there. Hopefully you can forgive me. Y is equal to 2/3 x plus 5. And that's our equation. Okay, just because I'm afraid you're going to need to see it again, we'll do another example. They give us the slope is -3, and they give us a point, just a point, somewhere on the line of 1 and -4. Now, when we get to more complicated problems, they're not always going to hit the y-axis just where we want them to. But in this case they do, and we're going to just take it because we're learning how to do this part of it. I'll make this a little bigger, move it right where I want it. Hopefully that's easy to see. Alright, so we know our slope is -3, and what does that look like? What does -3 look like? That means that our rise and our run become a -3 rise and a +1 run, because this is the same as -3 ones. -3 ones. These are the same, and so our rise is the top number, our numerator, and our run is the denominator. And we're going to start at 1, -4, which is down here. And our rise is negative, so we go 1, 2, 3 down, and our run is positive. And now that I know that it's down 1, I could actually go up, because this is the same as 3, -1, right? These are equal. I hope you know that. If you don't, trust me. Now our rise is +3 and our run is -1, so I can go 1, 2, 3, and I can go back 1 this way. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and I've already found it, but I'm going to keep going. 1, 2, 3, back 1. Okay, the cool thing is right there is our y-intercept. That's our b. And if I go ahead and draw it, I hope you can see it in this color. It's right through all of these points. And our equation now is simply, now you do have to graph this every time to find the y-intercept. They give you the slope and they give you a point, but you still have to find this particular point, which is the y-intercept, which means you do have to graph. And then you can just put it right into the equation, the slope-intercept equation, which is y equals mx plus b. Y equals the slope, which is -3, x plus b. Now we know what b is because we used a graph. It's at -1. So it's plus a -1, or we can rewrite that, or y is equal to -3x minus 1. We're just, plus a -1 is the same as -1. That's a better way to write it. That should help. All right. Good luck.